Although summer has begun a bit early this year, it's 32 to 33 degrees in the shade, probably nearly a month early, maybe 3 weeks, but still earlier than expected. It's still cool in the morning and the evenings, thankfully. We won't get into that miserable phase of summer where it's hot 24 hours a day for a while yet, so I can still enjoy a fire. And I have something that's a bit unusual for those outside of Japan, perhaps. Certainly I've never seen them outside Japan. They're these mini beers, and all of the brands have them. I don't tend to buy them, but a former student visited and brought some beer, and they brought sort of normal sized ones and these. And the advantage to these, I think, is that they do, because their volume is smaller, they stay cool for the duration of the drink. Sometimes, unless you're really pounding them, those larger ones, they get to be a bit lukewarm, and I one of my more American traits is I like my beer ice cold. Oh, it's good. Tomorrow is going to be hard. I need to harvest the barley. Kimberly needs to be away. It's the weekend, but she needs to be away for graduation ceremony at her school, so it'll be on me. Last year when I harvested the barley, it was again by myself, and I almost amputated a finger, my index finger. The scythe or the sickle went straight through the leather glove like butter and down to the bone, requiring quite a few stitches. Because I was on my own at that time, and I had a limited window in which to deliver the barley to the JA Center, I stanched the bleeding as best I could, stuffed the hand back into the glove, and worked for the rest of the day. Didn't go to the doctor until the next day. Didn't get too many credit points with the doctor or Kimberly that day, but I did get the barley done. So the goal tomorrow is to avoid any such nonsense. So I'll get up early, get a rental truck, and then I will head over to the JA Center, get the bin. I tested the harvester today. And then it's bend over, cut it, feed it into the thresher, rinse and repeat. The goal is to clear the field in a day. It's not that big a field. It's also got a fair bit of lodged barley that's fallen over, and I don't want to harvest anything that's too close to the ground. You really risk fungal infections and things, mold.
Collect spores, molds, and fungus.
One good thing, it's been fairly breezy, fairly hot, and dry. And that means that the barley itself might be close to the 13% moisture content that is the target when you dry it. It might only be at 16 or so, whereas in a normal year, perhaps it might be 20-25% moisture content. So that'll protect it a bit against mold, mildew, fungus, etc. And therefore, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to salvage that harvest. Last year we got 90 kilograms of barley. I'll be interested to see what we get this year. If we could get at least 20, then we'd have enough to eat a bit and to sow next year. Last year the wheat gave us 300 kilograms, of which we still have a fair bit. And barring any last minute mishaps, we may have even more this year. It looks like a really good crop. And rye, which we're going to have to dry ourselves, is not yet ready to harvest, and we could wind up with hundreds of kilograms of that at this rate. Next year, I don't know if we'll sow as much. We need to think carefully about what we need, what we can use, what we can give away, and therefore apportion the plot appropriately. All right, first harvest day. It's barley today, and I have the required uniform. Got a damp cloth, sunscreen, big old floppy hat, long sleeves, because actually there are barbs on the grain heads that will scratch the hell out of you and give you quite an allergic reaction, we learned last year. Likewise, I've got some gaiters on to prevent them from going into the shoes, lest they do the same to the ankles. Learning from last year, we have stainless steel wire embedded gloves. And last but not least, a big old can full of semi-frozen drinks. Hydration is the name of the game. This is fairly straightforward. It's not complicated, but it is tedious. I've got a weight belt on just to keep my lower back in check. But basically, what you do is don your supposedly knife-proof gloves and hope that the European CE rating means something. You grasp the grain at the base and cut, and then feed it into the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and fire everything up, and you'll see how it all comes together. So I'm 3 hours in to harvest, and I'm about a third done. Going a little bit slower than I'd hoped, leg is slowing me up. And the first row, I had to adjust the threshing machine a few times, so I'm a little bit behind where I want it to be. I don't know if I'm going to make it for the full field today, which is the goal. I'll get as far as I can, but I've got to take a break. My saliva is getting thick, which is a sure sign that despite my breaks and drinking, I'm not keeping up. So this watermelon ought to help with that. Thank God watermelons come up in summer, eh? Oh, this one looks like a good one too. Kimberly told me last night, remember, this is all just a hobby. And she's right, she's 100% right. But it is hard not to take it dead seriously. And so I find myself just pushing and pushing as hard as I can, trying to get it all done before the rain comes in. We've got rain coming in this week, which would definitely muck with it. But, you know, here's what it is, I guess. Let me see what I can do. Those gloves saved my fingers 3 times today. 3 times that scythe raked right across and would have savaged them had the glove not been there. So money well invested. Oh my God, this is good. All right, small break and then back at it. I love this tree. It's a chestnut tree, and when we bought the property, the bamboo grove came past this tree. It was fully surrounded, and it was just a wee thing. It was, I don't know how old it was, how long it had been there. I don't even know how it got there. I can't imagine that it fell accidentally. So the previous family must have planted it, but then with the bamboo just being so invasive and the family may be unable over the years to clear it, they just, whatever happened, happened. So when we came in, it was the first year we saw it. It was autumn, so I would have seen a dried chestnut sitting on the tree and knew what it was. So we immediately cut the bamboo around it, and it was like it was waiting for that moment, and it sprung to life, and it's become quite a shade tree. Very elegant, lovely leaves, and of course the chestnuts are tasty. Oh, although they're not easy to harvest and process. They're like sea urchins, but tougher. Anyway, in summer, early summer, late spring, whatever you want to call this, we're coming up on summer on the 21st, I guess it is, so we're still a few weeks away. It's just absolutely glorious sitting under here. And thank God for the breeze. If it weren't for the breeze today, I think I might have collapsed at one point. So it's a real savior. Very low humidity today as well, which is a big plus, but it does mean I'm burning through liquids. Oh man, that is good. Anyway, I need to give myself a break. I need to accept that what I get done is what I get done, and what I don't get done either gets done another day, or, you know, that's it. We've got some rain coming in. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so by the time I can hit this again on the weekend, could be shot. Hard to say. Hard to say. I tell you, I've said this before, and I think I'll keep saying it throughout the series. I have such a respect for farmers, especially small-scale farmers. Maybe it's different if you've got automated lines, you know, combines that are the size of small houses, and you're processing thousands of square meters or even hectares, perhaps. But for small-scale farmers who are really putting their back into it and have to somehow make a living from it, blows my mind how the hell they keep up the motivation despite things like, you know, weather coming in and ruining crops or poor prices. I think if Japan's going to ever achieve any sense of resilience, I believe at this point 60% or more of our calories are imported, if you can believe that. So if we're ever going to reverse that, the government's going to have to support young people getting into farming. Maybe they'll need to combine that with automation and robots and artificial intelligence, but without it, we'll lose self-sufficiency, but more than that, I think we'll lose culture, history, tradition, the landscape, the geography of Japan, and the social landscape of Satoyama. I don't know that I could recommend this for everybody. I'm 56, so I'm decidedly middle-aged. I think I'm putting a fair effort in. I think I'm not embarrassing myself anyway. But if you're not used to hard graft, if you've not known a fair bit of labor throughout your life, it'd be tough to get into this. And the rewards have to be intrinsic, solely from the joy of going from seed to table. And that is something never thought I would have experienced it. I'm very glad that I have. Well, I don't know how the hell I did it, but I did it. Done in one day.